Hi, you have a grammar lesson today on more on combining sentences today with verbs. Before I get into the actual lesson for today, I want to review the way we've combined sentences so far this year because part of what you're going to do today involves knowing these different ways and remembering how to do it. Okay, so going back all the way to the beginning of the year, first thing we did was compound sentences. That's when we take two complete sentences and we join them with the comma and an and. The sentences have things in common in what they mean. Our family walked along the shore. We picked up seashells. Stop changing colors on me. When I join those two sentences, I take the whole sentence, I drop the period at the first one, I replace it with a comma and put in the word and then put my next sentence. Our family walked along the shore, comma, and we picked up seashells. Remember that when you join the second sentence, we have to make this first letter lowercase unless it's a proper noun, then it stays an uppercase letter. That was number one. Number two, there's actually two ways that we did this one, combining sentences with nouns, joining nouns that are subjects this time. Two sentences. Gabby likes to do cartwheels. Ariel likes to do cartwheels. My predicates are the same. So I'm going to take the nouns in the subject and I'm going to join them and write the predicate once. Gabby and Ariel like to do cartwheels. Now, in this case, I capitalized Ariel because it's a proper noun. But sometimes when you have nouns in the subject that aren't proper nouns, we're not going to capitalize the second one. For example, cats have fur, dogs have fur. When I make that one sentence to make our writing better, I have cats and dogs have fur, but dogs is not a proper noun, so I change it to a lowercase letter. Dogs is a common noun. Okay. The second way of joining nouns is joining nouns that are in the predicate. So up here, there were nouns that are in the subjects. Here, it's nouns in the predicate. Blake eats bananas. Blake eats pears. My noun in the predicate is different, but the rest of the sentence is the same. So I can make that a new sentence. Blake eats bananas and pears. Blake is my subject, eats is my verb, and they're both the same, but the noun and the subject is different. So I can make that one sentence. So that's the second way. I don't like yellow. There we go. That's the color I wanted. Now, the third way is really what we've done before, and we're going to do it again today. And that's combining sentences with verbs, joining sentences with the same subject by combining the predicates. That means the whole predicate. Addison likes to sing. Addison likes to dance. Addison is the same subject, but the verb and the predicate are different. So likes is my verb, dances is my verb, but these are two things that Addison likes to do, so I can make it one sentence. Addison likes to sing and dances to music. I have one better sentence, joining our two predicates with and. Right? Now we've done this before. We actually did this in the last verb chapter. This is the same thing you're doing today. You're taking your subject, that's the same, and joining your two predicates with and. So, like I said, today is really just more practice with joining sentences that have the same subject by joining the predicates with and. Number three. What I want you to do is I want you to open your textbook to page 258 and read the rules and read the examples before we go on. So pause the video and take a look at that page for me, please. Hopefully you've paused and we're back. Here are the examples in the guided practice problems. Number one is Mr. Lee builds spaceships. Mr. Lee needed a helper. Mr. Lee is the same subject, but the verb and the predicate, build and needed, tell me that my predicates are different, but I can join them. Mr. Lee builds. builds spaceships. Mr. Lee needed a helper. I need to fix this and make that and unlock it. See, I even catch my own errors sometimes. Come on, come on. Builds spaceships. Builds. Perfect. Mr. Lee builds spaceships. Mr. Lee needed a helper. Mr. Lee builds spaceships and needed a helper. That's number one. Number two in your textbook, Terry took the job. Terry worked hard. I'm going to join my predicates and make it Terry took the job and worked hard. And number three, Mr. Lee took out several tools and Mr. Lee showed them to Terry. I'm going to combine those two sentences to make, an absolute mess. How about that? Oh, goodness. It always looks good until I move things around. There we go. Mr. Lee took out several tools and showed them to Terry. Okay. Remember that you are joining the predicates with the conjunction and when the subjects are the same and there is no comma. Stop moving. Okay. The only time you use a comma is when you're making compound sentences. There is no comma. So your assignment today is page 259, number 6 through 20. Be careful. Part A, you are joining the predicates, just like the examples here. Part B, make that go away, there, has all three ways to join the sentences. Be careful to choose the correct way. So it could be any of the ways that were above. If you need to review it, go back to the video. You can go back and find them in your textbook as well, but they're right here in the video. All right? So 6 through 20, all of the sentences, you guys. Be careful and make sure you put capitals at the beginning of your sentences so I don't have to take a half a point off. Right? It's good practice in your typing. You're doing a great job. Right? This is due on Tuesday morning by 8 o'clock. Off you go.